further look at the impact and potentiality of our budget upon the business side from our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Saurabh. Bhai, I would like to know from you.
Thank you, Sumaya. Well, we all know about the pressure of inflation, global crisis on war between Ukraine and Russia, remittance inflow that has gone down, and government subsidy management which is also under unprecedented pressure. In this proposed budget, our Finance Minister has given all sort of tax exemptions for the business people and spoken of further stimulus. Through this initiative, we are expecting investment will increase, more employment will generate, and people will get work and raise their income. Being the capital market intermediary, we are anticipating reduced tax shall be benefited to the listed and non-listed companies. They can more focus on establishment, on business growth, corporate governance, and skill build-up among the industry, which will ultimately give benefit to sustainable revenue growth for the industries and achieve the government budget.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for sharing your insights from your experiences. So we've been hearing all the outlooks and insights from our experienced seniors. Let's hear something from the fresh blood of the industries, like Tasin, our very own Tasin. Tasin, being a fresher in this industry, how do you see this budget? Is there any ups and downs, hitch and glitch from your view, if you could share with us?
Thank you, Sumaya. Well, personally, the part of the budget that I have thought to be most welcoming was the startup sandbox. I mean, we're on our way to graduate from the least developed countries, and before we graduate, we have to make sure that all the economic development and economic growth we have achieved over the years, they are actually sustainable. And a big part of this growth is actually being pushed by our entrepreneurs. And the Startup Sandbox initiative, I believe, is a good start to encourage our entrepreneurs to take up the challenge, to take the mantle, to go forward. And quite a few benefits have been added for the startups. For starters, we can talk about the minimum tax has been brought down to 0.1% on revenue, and also you can carry your losses forward up to 9 consecutive years. And both of this combined, I believe it would act as a good cushion for the startups to absorb their early losses that almost all the startups make, and this will give them a breathing room to survive, to strive, to grow, and eventually become successful on their way to success. And about more than 95% of the startups in Bangladesh, they end up in failure, and I don't believe that this single step would be enough to change the scenario dramatically. But however, I think it's a good initiative, a good start, and with a few more steps in the upcoming budget periods, maybe we can take down that failure rate to a level that's much lower than the present scenario, and maybe we can develop an economy that's much more friendlier and merciful to our entrepreneurs, the backbone of pretty much every economy in the world.
Okay, alright, thank you so much for sharing your ideas and your thoughts. So we've been hearing all those views that we had from our colleagues. Now let's take a look at our research team, our very prudent research team, how they see this budget, how optimistic it is actually, and what are the pressures that might come forward in our journey in the upcoming FY. So we have Masumapu from research team. Masumapu, we are really eager to hear from you.
Thank you, Sumaya. As we know, the budget document upholds that low income and the businesses will be equally benefited. However, we believe those steps are providing more support to the higher income group and keeping the low and the middle income groups are in a tight spot. Although our currency has significantly depreciated against US dollar due to the recent Russia-Ukraine war and boost to the imports, government is still optimistic about keeping a balanced foreign exchange reserve. Some tough measures has already been taken in order to contain the imports. For an example, government has proposed to impose higher tariff on imported goods. Thus, it would discourage imports and drive more people to shift on local products as an alternative. Apart from improving the foreign exchange reserve, government has already given high priority to other factors such as taming inflation, boosting agriculture sector, developing human resources, and increasing employment. Moreover, the budget also attempts to boost domestic investment and promotes export diversification.
Thank you so much, Masumapu, and as always, even this time, it's the biggest challenge is to implement the budget, and it becomes more difficult with the crisis, the war, and all these things. And people want relief from all these crises, all these problems. And on that note, government needs to go and give all-out effort. And in order to making its effort, it must ensure the coordination between the monetary and fiscal policy making. And we hope our government is doing this quite efficiently for a while now. So that was it from us, our analysis, our outlook. Thank you so much for watching. Green Delta Capital Limited team says bye to all of you. Thanks.